And she's been here a long time. Let's just say more than 2 years, okay? All right, we'll take it that way. It is my honor to welcome Trish Smith to the platform. Please help me in welcoming her.
I really enjoy being here. I came to Cassadaga for the first time back in 1998 and became a member. And then I moved up here a few years later. I was really blessed to meet some incredible people that became friends and mentors to me. Sadly, most of them are gone now, but the reason for the Beatles song was in regards to one of them, Reverend Eloise Page. When I was writing and planning her celebration of life, that was one of the songs I chose. And then there was Reverends Nick and Jean Surratt, also known as Mama Jean, and Reverend Ben Cox, Reverend Dr. Don Zangi, and Reverend Dr. Warren Hoover, who was my CE. They all had incredible gifts. They all had incredible knowledge in all different ways. Yet one thing I noticed that each of them had, and some of you that have been here a while and were blessed to know them, knew that they came from a state of love. And everything, as you learn in natural law, is either love-based or fear-based energy. And we're not perfect humans. That's why we're here, we're learning. But when you turn to the love-based vibration, then things start manifesting for you. And a lot of the time, when you are able to turn into a happier vibration, laughter, and enjoying your life, that's when you bring that love-based vibration to the forefront. And that's what I noticed in each one of them. And their work wasn't work. It was who they were. And they always laughed, even though they had rough times, even through health issues, even through everyday frustrations. They learn to, yes, you recognize it, yeah, I'm going through that, let's fix it and move on. And I had so much respect for that because it was genuine. They weren't false about it. If they had an issue, they spoke about it. But then they moved on. They didn't attach to it. Like I said, they weren't perfect humans, and none of us are. But this is school. If we were perfect, why would we be here? We'd be guides. We'd be trying to help others along the way, but we're not there yet. And that takes a lot of lifetimes. I know spiritualism doesn't actually accept reincarnation. That's my belief, though. And when you come from a place of love, then you start realizing the opportunities within yourself. Because when you come from a fear-based energy, you limit yourself, you criticize yourself, you judge yourself on every little aspect of what you do. And you're more critical of others, but usually most people are more critical of themselves. When we learn that there's unlimited possibilities when we open up, then we learn to be silent within and find out, who are we now? What do I need in my life now? And what do I want in my life now and in the coming years? When we do that, then we can focus on that and bring that intention into us, bring that vibration, and get in alignment with it. And when we're in alignment, that's when we manifest. That's when things happen. You can't be thinking, oh boy, I'll never get this, and then say affirmations for an hour a day. That doesn't work that way. Because if you're constantly saying, no, I can't do this, or that won't work, or I'm not good enough, or whatever it is, that is a contraction with an ending in a T, then you're not going to bring forth into your life what you want. Because the energy goes where the vibration is the strongest. You become not just what you think, but what you feel. Because the feeling, the emotions, are what's bringing forth the stronger energy. So when you come from a place of love and you're reaching that joy-based energy, that's when things start happening in your life. Because that's when you're really getting into alignment. You know what you want, and you have that synchronistic energy. That's when things happen in your life. So next time you feel like you made a mistake, laugh it off, because it wasn't a mistake, it was an opportunity for you to have that experience and to overcome it or learn from it. See, that's what people do, is they judge themselves and they beat themselves up because, oh, I made a mistake. Well, if we were perfect, why would we be here? Wouldn't life be boring? We'd be like machines. AI. But AI even messes up. But we're here to experience and to enjoy. We're supposed to live life, not just experience it. We're not just here to exist. But if you put the V instead of the F, then it kind of gives you an attitude of, wow, well, let's see what we can do. That gives us an attitude of maybe some adventure. That gives us the opportunity to experience things and say, hey, you know, I've never bungee jumped. Let's give that a shot. Or let's go, water skiing. Something different that you wouldn't naturally do. I tend to be more on the adventure side. Years ago, I had a to-do list. And it had on there parachuting, rappelling, parasailing, scuba diving, because I was really into sports and working out every day and so forth. I guess the universe decided you're kind of going overboard here. We got to slow you down a little bit. Well, I got in an accident, and that kind of threw that right out the window because my legs were shattered. And all the things that I had on my list, I couldn't do any longer. But that's okay, because it made me look at myself, and that's another thing. Sometimes we have to go within and say, okay, what's really important? And it's like, okay, I've always done spiritual work as long as I can recall. Maybe they're right, and it was time for me to get out of the business world, to slow down, to stop all the athletics, and to really focus within. And that's something I had been avoiding because part of me was thinking, isn't that egotistical? Because I didn't know better. But it's not. Because the more you're genuine with yourself, the more you can be there for others. And the more you can forgive yourself, because we usually blame ourselves for stuff that we really shouldn't, the more we can open up and forgive others as well. And isn't that what spiritualism or being spiritual is all about? is to have unity, understanding, acceptance? Does it really matter what church someone goes to, or what culture, or how much money they have, or what initials they have before or after their name? Does that really make a difference in who they are? Or is it what's in their heart? Or the heart-mind? Thoughts are things, and everything we think, say, and do is energy and vibration. And when we're thinking thoughts of separatism or bias, we can't be thinking at a higher vibration. So what's that doing to us? Is that harming just that person? No, it's harming us because it's holding us back. It's putting us under a cloud of judgment. We don't want to be judged, so why are we judging somebody else? We're all on our own paths. We're all trying to learn. And we're hampering our own learning process when we allow ourselves to get stopped by barriers of someone else's opinion. So when we can look at someone and truly accept them for who they are, then we're opening the door for us to be truly accepted as well. And then we're opening the door for people that have contact with us to understand, hey, I don't care, that I like that person. And the next person, the next person. It's like if you've ever been in marketing. If you get 2 good sales, those 2 sales can go out and expand. It's a whole lot better than having 2 bad remarks. And you want the perpetual energy going out in a positive way. So by doing this, by accepting others, by coming from that love-based energy, just like all those mentors that I admired so, then I am at peace with myself. Because I know, yes, imperfect as I am, I'm accepting me. And that opens the door to me accepting others with their imperfections too. Because we're all here, we're all imperfect. And we're all here to try and grow and love. And why not do that together? Why not come from a more sound, solid place of acceptance and understanding so that we can manifest more in our life? And not just material things, but more of an understanding. Because the more gratitude we have, the more understanding we have, the universe is going to give us more. Because then they're going, oh, they're ready for it. Great. Maybe mankind will stop all this nonsense. Because as every one person grows, it kind of helps mankind grow up a notch. We're not all the same. We're not supposed to be. Because again, that would be putting us back into robot mode. And that would be so boring if everybody was the same. Isn't it nice to have somebody who's a little quirky once in a while? I kind of like it when somebody's, uncommonly funny, just when everything's kind of dull, and they come out with some dry humor or something that cracks everybody up. We need the quirky. Those things keep us in balance, because that's when we're starting to appreciate everyone for what they are. I think that's why there's a platypus on the world, because it's a little quirky, to say the least. And it helps us to appreciate there's all colors of birds in the world, all colors of trees and flowers. Life's supposed to be a variety, and different sizes and shapes. And when you recognize that, it's all good. because who's to say what's the best one? You may have your personal preference, but it doesn't mean it's the best one. That's your preference. So, next time you start wondering if, gee, what's wrong with me? Why am I not getting what I want? Just step back and think, hey, am I coming from a place of love? Do I love me? Am I in alignment? Am I really focused on the right thing that's best for me at this time in my life? So sit back and get quiet. Try and connect with your heart, your mind, and see what they're saying. Just be quiet. And it takes some practice. If you're not used to going into the quiet, just give it a break. Couple of minutes. And then gradually you get acclimated to it. And you become quieter, calmer, and more attentive and in tune with who you are. That will help you go through all the bumps and swift turns and, as I call them, stub toe moments that the universe is going to throw at you. And those aren't punishments. Those are to help keep you stronger and prepare you and make you more apt for what's coming up in the future. The more prepared you are, the easier it is. And the more experiences you have, the easier you're going to be able to handle it. So life is supposed to be an experience, but it's not supposed to be all work and responsibilities. You have to have that fun. You have to have balance. So if you want to think, okay, work, just think balance. Because when you're out of balance, you have to think twice as hard. You have to work twice as hard. But when you're in a balanced zone, things get done so much smoother. So learn to forgive yourself for the little foibles you have and for what some people would call mistakes. And then laugh and get on with your life. And I want to thank all of you for being here. I love being here and being back with some new friends that took the spots of the mentors that I mentioned earlier. About a year ago, Reverend Darrell sent out an email. He was in need of healers on Wednesday night. And I'm going, well, maybe it's the universe telling me I need to get back on track and stop hiding, because I had kind of stepped back for several years. I did, medium's night and gala day if needed. But other than that, I went into hiding. I just didn't know who I was. I lost all my connections. And then I came that Wednesday night, and I also met Reverends Deborah and Sheldon. And when I met the three of them, it was like, oh my, now I know who's filling that void. Because they are so love-based. They just radiate that vibration, and you can tell they really love what they're doing. Now, this is Deborah and Sheldon's last day as pastors, but they would still be active as co-directors of Lyceum, but they gave the reins over, as well as the board, to Darrell. So we are blessed to have love-based energies in charge of the temple. And I'll tell you, it makes a huge difference. It really made me feel at home when I first walked in again after so long. And I'm really glad of that. And I know little by little, you're all going to start connecting with that too. Now that, there is a difference in energies, and you have the opportunity to connect. So I thank you all, and have a wonderful, blessed day. Thank you.